Hey guys, Jeremy here at My Way MFG. If you don't know what this is sitting behind me that kind of looks like an old truck, watch this video and I'll kind of show you. And if you still don't understand what it is, there's a whole playlist on this channel called Replica Model T. Check out all them videos, catch up, and I want to drive this out of here in about a month and a half. So follow along. We'll see where that ends up. Could be good, could be bad. Well, I thought I had a roll of gasket material around, but I couldn't find it. I do got some thin cardboard here from some sandpaper. I just took a hammer and tapped around on that and got the inside diameter of this bearing retainer. So we'll just trace the outside circle and make us a gasket for that. Just hold it on there and you just keep, you know. Anyway, my Nibco heater's out of gas right now. I'm not going to stay out here very long. I just felt like getting a little something done, you know. Get that centered up. Trace this side. Make some holes in there where the pencil marks are at, and I think we'll call that good. Hey guys, Jeremy here at My Way MFG. It has been so cold the last 2 weeks, single digits, teens. I haven't came out in the garage. I've been doing what has to be done and otherwise just trying to keep warm, you know. But anyway, I fired the heater up today and came back out here in the garage, and it feels good to be back out here doing something. But it took a while for the heater to catch up. I got this plastic laid out here on the floor because there was so much dust in here. Every time I walked on it, it was just a cloud of dust. But anyway, this part here, I didn't cover with plastic yet. I got a weird phenomenon going on here to where I actually have ice crystals underneath this plastic. If you walk on it, when I first come out here and it was cold still, it was crunchy. And then over here, it's dry as a bone where the plastic isn't. It's like you would never guess there would be moisture coming up. But I guess what's happening is the heat from the ground is coming up and hitting that plastic like a vapor barrier, and it's condensating and forming ice crystals. It kind of makes you understand the importance of having a vapor barrier under your concrete, I suppose. But anyway, what I've been doing today, I got this transmission motor cradle. I took it all apart. I've welded everything, top and bottom, around the edges, cleaned it up, and I've painted it. And I also just very quickly took a wire wheel to the transmission, got the dirt and loose flakes off of it, just blowed a little paint on it real quick like. And I put a new seal in the bearing retainer. Anyway, let me show you where I'm at and where I'm going next. There's that cradle. It's all welded up. I take it out of the vise, I flip it around, I'll paint that last little bit, but that's what all that's looking like. And it's welded everywhere that could be welded. I don't think that would ever go anywhere. But anyway, I got clamped in there drying for now. And then over here, I just very quickly knocked that off. I didn't care if it was perfect, but I just blew a little black paint on it. Hey, you know what? It doesn't look too bad though. This has got a new seal in it now. I went ahead and did that. See it there, I guess. I traced out a piece of cardboard and making a gasket for that bearing retainer. So we'll be getting that on there real soon. I've got this hole right here where the speedometer drive gear goes, and I had to figure out a way to plug that or all the oil's gonna run out of this. Piece of 3/4 copper fits right in there. In fact, you gotta twist it to get it in. It's almost a pressed fit. I'm thinking I just cut a chunk of that off, sweat a cap on it, rough all that up and JB weld it. That doesn't build any pressure in there, and that's thick oil. I would think that would be okay. I don't know where I'd find anything else to do that with. They sell speedometer drives, like used ones on eBay for like $50, but I don't need it. I don't want to spend that. And I would spend 10 for a broken one that didn't work, but they don't sell broken ones, right? So anyway, I think that'll work out just fine. But here very soon, I've got all new bolts for this. I'm going to get this transmission bolted back into the cradle probably tomorrow. And then I'm going to try to take the sideboard off of that bed and place the transmission and the cradle in there and start working on that wheel pulley. And then just see where we get from there. But for right now, waiting on paint to dry. See you guys back out here tomorrow. This side rail held down by big square nuts. Took a 1-inch wrench to get them off of there. That middle one wouldn't come off, so I just took the 1/4-inch bolts out, left it. I guess I'll just work around it. Just start these back on there, I think, so I know where they're at later when I go ready to put that back on. First thing I'm noticing here, these boards aren't screwed down. They were just being held down by the bolts on the side rails. I have to get that fastened just a little better than that. There's going to be some more metal structure under there. Anyway, I'm going to blow this off, get it kind of cleaned up here. All right, this should make that easier to work on. I think we're going to see about getting this wheel off here. Well, I moved down here going on 11 years ago. Walked away from a nice in-floor heat, 2-car garage, air compressor, all my tools. Everything anybody could want, really, except for this property had more room. Terrible condition everything was, but it had potential. And I'm starting to get there with it. The reason I'm bringing all this up, I'm getting ready to use that impact to take that wheel off. Probably the first time in 11 years that I've been able to do that here. So that's going to make my life much easier. I just carried this fender in. I was wanting to hold it up here. I was wanting the back of this fender to pretty well cover that transmission tail shaft. I thought that tail shaft would probably come out about in the middle. Well, that's where this is at. I'm thinking now maybe come out right in front of it. And it looks like the skirt on that is big enough right here. I can cut my notch out and build me a little tunnel to go in between the sideboard and this. I don't think you'd hardly ever know that belt was there, you know, get it covered up good. Anyway, I just came back out here. We're still on day 1, so my paint ain't dry yet. But when I come out here in the morning, it should be. I'll see if I can get that transmission bullet into that cradle and get the whole thing set here. I've located a splined drive shaft yoke to go in the back of that transmission. Those 26, 27 spline, whatever them 3 speeds are. I've been told they're the same as a Turbo 350. We're about to find out. But I'm picking it up day after tomorrow. So through next week, maybe work on getting both these pulleys made up and try to get this positioned and maybe start working on the mounts for it. But anyway, see you guys tomorrow. I know I said that earlier, but this time I mean it. I just wanted to come out here and take this rail off. Had a piece of 3/8 copper. I just sharpened the edge of it up. Make us a hole punch for this gasket. I think that should work. Might have to fold this up though. got all the bolts in this. I left that top one out for now because it also reaches through and holds that bearing support on out here. We'll leave that one out for now. I just took a die grinder and ran a groove around here and got my snap ring in. I gotta say, that worked out perfectly. That'll keep that from walking around. It's back all the way. Bearing retainers on, new gasket, new seal. This transmission was missing a bunch of bolts out of the tail shaft. In fact, it only had one holding it. That's a bit concerning. You know, I only gave like $20 for this transmission. I don't know anything about it. I know I can roll it around by hand and it engages in all the gears. So hopefully it's okay. You know, if it's not, I guess we got a cradle made that will fit another one, but I'd hate to have to go changing that. We'll just see. Hopefully it works good enough, you know. But anyway, I think the only thing I'm missing now, I got to get a sweat cap to get that speedometer drive hole plugged. I've got to get the yoke back here, which I plan on picking up tomorrow. I got to get one more belt because I only bought one. I was still kind of checking lengths, and seems like I've got that where I want it now. But let's try to kind of position this roughly in place. We can't get it exactly in place until we start getting these pulleys on, but just kind of get an idea of what it's going to mount to under there. Inside diameter of this wheel, I need to cut it out to that line so it'll go up against the hub. I tried walking around with this, wasn't working too good. I kind of think what I'm going to do, this hole saw is just the right size. If I can get it started, I think I'll just take it out with that, and then if I happen to be a little bit off, I can use a die grinder to get me back to center. But I'm going to see what happens here. And guys, I've been out here going along. I don't know where I left off, so I'm just going to show you where I'm at. This is all setting in there, bolted together. I was looking on how I'm going to mount it. There's going to be a relief cut in the floor so that angle drops through. So this will be flat on the floor when it's done. So anyway, that'll put these, you know, like a washer, you know, whatever thickness that is, you know, 1/8 of an inch, get a washer under there, and that would go right down to the wood. As I'm looking at it, I've got this steel beam going under here. If I position this directly above it, I'll be able to just bolt through with long bolts. So this would be bolted to the structure that's going right above the axle. So that'd give me a real good mount here on the back transmission side. Get some bolts here down through the wood. And then on the front, I've got this level setting across here. You know, that drive shaft tube is part of the structure. It's just a little tippy right there. But if I took a piece of square tubing or angle iron and just kind of notched it to where it would clear that drive shaft, then I would have a beam going all the way across here. This would be dropped through the wood, the angle would be hanging down, and I'll just be able to build legs off of it. and that would get it mounted real good in the front. The wheel, I've went ahead and I've laid this wheel on top of it and got it centered up. I got the opening cut out. I might have to do a little work on it, but it's close. But I can drill these holes wherever these paint marks are. And then we ought to be able to slide it on there and give us our first position point, I guess you would say. So that's good. One problem I'm noticing here, I drilled a hole through the back of the cab. I've got this big round rod. I was going to use that for shifter linkage. So in here, I've got it going up to my shifter linkage hole. There'll be another one like it on the other side, so it'll be like parallel rods here. So that's going through there where it needs to be, right down the center. The problem is, I had thought that all this was going to set over towards the outboard side more, and I thought those rods would be in front of my belts. Well, as you can see, they're not. They're right underneath. Going to be right underneath my input shaft there. So that's going to cause me a problem. I'm not going to be able to do what I was going to do, I guess, but I'll figure it out. Get everything mounted, and then because actually this might go this way a little further yet. I don't think it's going to be near far enough, but it's going to be interesting, but we'll get it. Anyway, and then after that square tubing or angle or whatever was here, where I've got this level at now, where I left off with this 2x3 square tubing, it's open here on the ends. This frame's actually kind of cantilever effect because I've got the tongue off of this torque tube. It's going through a cross member, kind of like a Da Vinci bridge type thing going on here. So it ought to be pretty strong. But I could box off the ends of these and plate it up to that new piece of metal that would be going here. That would make that real strong. And then supports going up to catch this. And then I think that'd be good enough, because this could still be bolted through the wood in a couple places. But if I thought I needed more there, I could just angle down like this on both sides. But that really doesn't look all that hard to do. And I think that'll make it'll be part of the frame, you know. So anyway, that's where we're at with all that. Should be fine. I think this video is getting plenty long. Probably where I'm going to end it for now. And then hopefully next time out here, I got stuff to work on both these pulleys with. And get that in its final location, you know. Anyway, guys, I want to thank you for watching. Stay warm. We'll catch you on the next one. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, all them things. Later, Jeremy.